Hello and welcome. My name is Will Johnson, Unite America First. We have a special guest with us tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Donald J. Trump. Winning, winning, winning. I love it, love it, love it. We are streaming live right now on Facebook. So please go to our Facebook and like and share. Please like and share. Fair warning, if you share on Facebook, for some reason, I've been told that people are getting put in Facebook jail just because they share my post. I'm not understanding why, because I'm not doing anything mean. But anyways, if you want to avoid all of that and you are on Twitter, please go to Twitter and follow us on Twitter. And please retweet as much as you can. And also, we are streaming live on YouTube right now as we speak. We're on YouTube and Facebook live and direct. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the mind of Jamal. What's up?
Hey Will, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you again for coming on with me. This is awesome. We got, I'm like excited. This is right before Christmas. Donald J. Trump's keeping his word. And you know what? We have so much to be thankful for.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Now he gave everyone the old 1-2 punch. What the Republicans did today, the Democrats are actually, if we were boxing and someone was in a match, what the Republicans did was a 2 jab, then uppercut. They did the tax reform. They repealed the individual mandate.
Yes.
Then they allowed drilling off of Anwar provinces in Alaska, which will give us more energy independence, which people have been trying for over 30 years. I think Claire McCaskill said 38 years to get that done so they could drill. Well, guess what? Now we can drill, which puts more of us being energy independent, so we won't have to depend on the countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, those nations who a lot of times don't share in our best interest. They'll sit there and they'll promote a lot of these radical Islamic terrorists, because a lot of people don't know that Saudi Arabia was backing some of those extremists in Syria. So actually, ISIS has some ties back to the Saudi royal family.
I believe it. But you know what? This is remarkable. The Democrats have been trying to do everything they can to remove our president from office. They've made up every kind of lie. They try to bring out women from years ago. They're trying to do everything they can. And they were trying to impeach him. They were trying to remove the president from office before Christmas. Christmas is this weekend. And they haven't done it. So my only fear is that these Democrats are going to do what they've been doing and completely be violent and come out and be violent against our president. Right now, I truly believe there's a coup going on within these government agencies to try to undermine our president, because they don't like the fact that he's doing everything that he said he would do for the American people. This is the positive thing. This is a positive thing. Now, the reason why I say it's a positive thing, because it is going to benefit the filthy rich. But I don't know anyone who's extremely poor hiring somebody, giving them a job to do something. You know, I mean, it's really, I know it sounds elementary, but it is that basic. You don't have poor people hiring people to do a job, but you do have rich people hiring people, paying them to make them more money. I mean, because if I do something and I become a millionaire, I don't want the liberals or the government taking all my money. Let me spend it and hire more people. But they're saying that the rich people aren't going to do that. And a lot of these rich Democrats, we get to put them on the spot. Go ahead.
Well, here's my thing. I'm HVAC. I work for a multimillionaire. I want him to get tax breaks. Why? Because when he gets tax breaks, I get a raise. I want multimillionaires and people who are, you guess, quote unquote, thousandaires, so they can go out and buy homes. Why? Because if they go out and buy homes, I get to run the ductwork and install the unit into their homes, which put more money into my house. Mm-hmm. I tell people, I don't work for nobody broke. I work for somebody rich. 99.9% of the people out here work for someone who is rich.
Yes.
And this whole war on the rich is nothing but plain out old covetousness. You're coveting somebody else, which is nothing but jealousy. You're looking at what somebody else have, and you're determining that they don't have it because you don't have it. That's covetousness. The churches ought to sit there and start speaking out against it, because it's rich people in the scriptures. If you go run out and say when you judge someone of sin, and you tell someone if they're in a sinful lifestyle, they're wrong, you gotta be, oh no, you don't judge. Okay, then you don't judge another person by their wealth. If they have wealth and it was not by ill-gotten means, you don't have right to tell them that they need to do more, because you know what? It's the Lord will bring that judgment at his time. So you have rich people who do a lot of great things. They hire people. And you know what? If someone don't hire anybody, how dare someone tell someone
exactly.
that you don't have a right to your money?
Yes.
That's just illogical.
Yes.
You need to tell me, if I'm rich, I don't have a right to my money?
No, what it is,
I don't have a
right.
What
they want to tell you, what they want to tell you is that you got up every day, you worked hard, you created a business and you worked hard. You made something of yourself. You hired people and you made great wealth, millions of dollars, but then they want to say that you're not entitled to it, even though you're the one that did everything to make it happen. You remember, they still have this whole thing in their mind when Obama was talking about that business, you didn't do that. You remember that new invention? That new invention, that building, that creation, you didn't do that. Seriously? Who did it then? Because he didn't do it. He's tried to say that it was someone before them. Well, even if it was someone before them, guess what? Somebody did it.
You see, Obama was trying to sprinkle little communist words, and I don't say this sparingly. He was sprinkling communism out there because when he made that, you didn't build it. He was here in North Carolina in the 2012, his re-election campaign, and it was a person from who owned a bunch of hot dog stands around here in Raleigh, North Carolina, who spoke out against that. Because what Obama was saying, well, you didn't build the roads. Okay, hold on, but I did build my business. So what you're trying to tell me, I'm not entitled to the money that I earned. And here's the thing I notice about liberals. When John Boehner, right before he left to give Speaker Ryan, when Speaker Ryan got voted in, he gave a budget. And in that budget, Hollywood liberals got some of the best tax breaks you could get. It was like on the first $10 million on a movie, it was write off or something of that nature. So what liberals do is they want everyone to pay all these high taxes, but they write themselves tax laws because the liberal media like to say loopholes. It's not loopholes. It's tax laws.
Yeah.
So they got themselves specific little type laws where they can use to give themselves less money. And these laws specifically target whom the liberals feel deserve to be rich, like Harvey Weinstein.
Yes. You're exactly right. And they keep pushing that same thing over and over and over, and they expect us not to even understand what they're doing. I still don't understand how liberals think that spreading the wealth is a good thing. Now, if a person decides they want to donate money, or if a person decides they start a business and they want to hire people and pay them well, to me, that's spreading the wealth. When a person get up every day and they go to work and they work for what they make, that's spreading the wealth. But just giving it to someone who's sitting on the couch in mama's basement for doing nothing, that's not spreading the wealth. That's giving it to lazy people for doing nothing. If a man don't work, he don't eat.
Well, one thing about liberals, they believe that everybody has a choice to be liberal. And if you're not liberal, you don't have a choice. That's just not true. Liberals believe everyone has a choice to be liberal, but if you're not a liberal, you don't get a choice. So they want more and more people to be on welfare because what you're doing is you're appealing to the deepest, darkest nature of man. Mm-hmm. One, to be lazy. Mm-hmm. Get food, be able to get food, do what you want, and not be held to accountability for your actions. So if you sit there and you show up to work 30 minutes late every day, they want to extend you unemployment for 2-3 years so that way you can vote in the election cycles to keep giving them power. That's why they always say they attack the Republicans going to attack Medicaid. They're going to attack food stamps. People are not going to be able to eat. They're trying their best to take American people and appeal to their most darkest nature, which is laziness and greed, and keep them in power, which they do. And it's basically creating a whole new slave. You tell him when to work, when not to work, when to get up, when to lay down, come in every now and then and just say you ain't feeling good or you still can't find a job and you're emotionally distressed. You don't know, you're just so stressful, so you need more money. This is what they do.
Yes, you do. They're supposed to be distressed. So, today, did you watch when they were on the South Lawn on the White House today?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I did a video. I did a live stream showing CNN head exploded on Black
Oh,
Patriots.
yes.
You ought to saw him on CNN. This is just. He's not keeping his promises. He's not keeping his promises. And you're like, wow, you're the station that has done everything you could for the past year to throw him out, throwing out innuendos and throwing out fake news. And then when they was signing, I went to Fox News because I didn't want to hear nobody interrupted. I'm going to put the video out later, but it just shows Republicans standing up there doing their job and actually winning. Unlike the Obamacare they did earlier when he did the big press conference and it failed in the Senate, this right here is actual unadulterated victory for President Trump and all the American people. And we as conservatives and Republicans have to take the liberals kicking and screaming along with us, because what they don't realize, we don't want them to starve because we want smaller prisons so money can go less to the prisons so they won't be in it.
Exactly.
We want them with jobs so we don't have to pay for Medicaid and welfare.
Yes.
So guess what? It's more money in our pocket. And hopefully the people in California, once they start feeling what Governor Brown, New York, Governor Cuomo, and all these blue states, and they start seeing their property taxes actually feeling what the liberals have been doing, they will come together and say, you know what, my paycheck ain't right no more.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me the federal government been propping us up?
Yes.
Well, let's get you out of office.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why my campaign that I started, the Vote Them Out 2018. I've been saying that since right before the mother of our rallies. The Vote Them Out 2018. Right now it's so important. And you know what? When they were standing on that lawn back there, I think there was 9 or 12. I can't remember exactly how many Rhino Republicans that voted against this, that voted nay. And I put on Facebook a little thing and asking how many of them were there. And I'm going to add them, these rhinos, I think it was 12, something like that.
It was 12.
It was 12? Yes.
Yeah, it was 12 in those. It was 12 like Peter King and David Issa.
Yes.
Because they live
in
those blue states.
I was getting ready to say that. You beat me to it. I was getting ready to say, if you look at it, all of them live in a blue state.
Except for one, North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. And that just shows right there that they are rhinos. Complete rhinos. I mean, some of the ones that voted for them are rhinos, in my opinion, too. But these are true rhinos. These are Democrats that, they're Republican in name only. Serious, straight up. That's exactly what they are. And I'm going to add them to the votethemout.org. So I'm going to have their heads bouncing around in the screen, too. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, Peter King and David Issa, they're in. Peter King is out of New York. Mm-hmm. He's in one of the most liberal states you can get, and of course, Dave Issa, out of California. So, for me looking at them they were looking at their own necks and how much their own taxes. Because they wanted, and their biggest thing was against, they wanted to keep SALT. They wanted to make it bigger, but the Republicans have said and came together, stop helping liberals from liberalism. This tax cut today stopped the American people in Texas from subsidizing and propping up the people in Washington. This stopped the people in Mississippi and Alabama from propping up the people in New York. This stopped the people in Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, for propping up California. Now maybe these people, when you went to that rally and they stole your phone, and I hope you found out who it was, Will, so you can lock their butt up. But when now maybe when they have their pro-Palestinian rally and
Yeah.
they hate America rally,
Right.
they can start seeing their pocketbooks get smaller, so then they can elect some people, some John F. Kennedy Democrats that's going to sit there and say, "Whoa, let's cut these taxes back so we can keep businesses and we can keep our own money," because now it's going to get down to self-preservation.
Yes. Just imagine the economy has been doing great. The stock market is like up like crazy. And now they successfully did this tax reform. That's just going to help the businesses in America. This president, Donald J. Trump, has literally just flipped the entire system upside down. The globalists, they cannot stand it. They hate it. They're angry. I was watching CNN, MSNBC. They are literally angry. If we could turn the cloak off, we could actually see the horns start coming out of their head. They're so mad. That's why I was saying earlier, talking about the coup, that I truly believe that there's a coup going on to try to get at our president. They're so angry that they're willing. I'm willing to bet that they're willing to go to the extra step by any means necessary to try to remove our president. I mean, because he's doing great things. This is a positive thing. And on a side note, my producer, she does small business commercials, and she's done weddings and stuff like that. But ever since Trump went into office and the stock market's been going up and the economy's been doing better, she's been getting no jobs. She's been like in the tank because of Donald J. Trump. It's been like completely dry for her because a lot of these businesses are flourishing. They're like, they don't need to do a lot of advertisement right now because they're doing well. And a lot of time businesses, when they're not doing so great, they advertise to try to get more people to come in, more people to buy. Yeah. And under Obama, that was happening all the time. People with the uncertainty. People will say, "Oh, we don't know what's going to happen with the stock market. The stock market is never looking. Sometimes it goes down. It will go down. The entire 8 years, it will go down and come up a little bit, go down a little bit." Donald J. Trump, completely different story. Stock market's up great. The economy's up great. Tax reform, great. But with her business is down in the tank. But I'm not complaining because I see the bigger picture here. And with God willing, that now that the tax reform is in place, that more businesses will say, "You know what? We have the money. We get tax breaks. Let's advertise more." For the competition. So maybe that will take place. Because I mean it's rough, and I'm not complaining. I don't want anyone to take what I'm saying as complaint because I see the bigger picture of what Donald J. Trump is doing, and I'm supporting it 100% because I want true change in this country. And if that means some of us have to struggle, which I'm struggling with in our business, that means we have to struggle. But I'm praying and I'm having faith that things will turn around and things will get better. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say this because I'm actually hearing liberals on MSNBC, CNN, ABC, and all the other alphabet gang. They stay in a stupid tree. They fell out of the stupid tree and hit every single branch they could find because they are actually trying to give the today's economy credit to Barack Obama.
I know. I heard that.
That the only reason that we have this great economy is because of Obama and the things we passed. And I tell people, if you look at the GDP in November, it rose to 1.7, around 1.2 like that. Then January came, it was at 1.615. Then once they saw that Obama was gone and President Trump came in knocking regulations, it went from 1.6, which Obama said he must have a magic wand, because there ain't no way you gonna get GDP back to 3%. Okay. Now you look at March, we're at 2% GDP. And then we kept going up and up and up.
Yes.
So guess what? Then the money started coming in, the stock market going up and up. And what President Trump went in and did away with those idiotic liberalism trash regulations that Obama was trying to put men in the women's bathroom.
Yep.
And women in the men.
Yep.
So they so busy worried about social justice and who needs their fair share, that those regulations was stifling business, especially the EPA. People don't understand, for a long time, people were taking the EPA to the Supreme Court to get permission to build on their own land because they found a green frog on their land. Liberals believe, oh my gosh, it's a green frog. Well,
like they never seen one of those.
On that land. Like a green frog.
They did that here in California. There was some fish that were supposed to be extinct. So instead of allowing the water to flow to help the people out, the farmers in California, and they come to find out there was maybe a couple hundred, if I'm not mistaken, a couple hundred of these fish.
Yeah.
That they found. Instead of letting the water flow to help human beings that desperately needed the water, they cut it off from humans for these fish. Me personally, I'm saying let's throw a hook in. Let's throw a hook in, feed the people, and give them the water. I'm serious. I'm not saying that because I'm being mean to cruel to animals or anything. But for me, people, human beings, we come first. Yeah. That's just the top of the food chain. But I'm completely for taking care of our environment. I've planted plants. I've planted fruits. I don't have any issue. Even trees. I'm all for that. But human beings, we have to do everything we can to protect and preserve the human race. But liberals, that's why they're so for killing off unborn babies, and they're even pushing for killing the elderly, this et cetera, et cetera. But I digress. Hey, so earlier today, for people that didn't see it, we're going to play just a small portion of I guess it was their rally after them approving or passing the tax law. So we're going to play this short clip, and we're just going to play. It's pretty short, but we're going to play that, and then after we play that, then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about it.
Well, Mr. President, during one of those conversations that we had, we talked about ways to improve distressed communities throughout this country. 52 million Americans living in distressed communities, and we talked about legislation that could move those communities forward. And you said yes. And as a part of this tax reform package, the Investing and Opportunity Act has been included, which will bring trillions of dollars into poor communities because of your willingness to listen.
Thank you.
The president said I only have about 45 more minutes, so I'm going to get to my... He didn't say that. Okay, got it. Let me just say to those Americans who are watching this process, this is not about Washington. It's not about the left. It's not about the right. It's about single-parent moms who are looking for a reason to be hopeful in 2018. This tax reform plan delivers for the average single mother a 70% tax cut. For the average family who's working paycheck to paycheck, looking for ways to be hopeful about their future, to have an extra night for dinner out at a restaurant. This tax reform package cuts their taxes by nearly 60%. And because of folks like Marco Rubio and Ivanka, when you think about the folks with kids in the household, this plan doubles the child tax credit and makes about 70% of it refundable. This is a plan that we can be proud of because it speaks to the hearts of everyday Americans.
Awesome. You're good?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. So you know what? If you see the whole thing in its entirety, when they had the Republicans on the left and the right on the steps, they only showed. I mean, when you looked at it, you see majority of white people, and I specifically showed this clip with this gentleman because he was the. I mean, there was a couple of black people in there, but I specifically showed him because I just knew it. When I was sitting there watching, I could just hear the liberals. Look at all the white people. There's number of white men, you know. But there was black men up there. There was white women up there. Now, the only reason why it looked like the majority of white people because the majority of this country is white people. I mean, there's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the people, they're white.
You
Yes,
know,
follow us on follow us on Twitter.
No.
Okay. You can follow us on Twitter. I think they already got that.
It's not selected.
Okay. There we go. So I specifically showed that clip. I wanted to show that clip because I knew they were saying it. And they're sure enough, they're on there talking about it's the Republican Party is nothing but white people. And majority, I mean, if you look at the Democratic Party, it's a lot of white people in it too, but they don't talk about it because they're trying to like per se that they're the party for everybody. But they will point out on the Republican. And then for me, it's not an issue. I'm like, I really don't care. As long as they're doing the right thing for the American people, I could care less what they are, who they are, as long as they're Americans and they're doing the right thing. And you know, let me make one more statement too. In the video where he was saying that it's not a right thing and it's not a left thing. This is an American thing. This will benefit the American people. And that's what the liberals do not want people to understand. They're trying to say it's only going to benefit the rich, the 1%. And that's not true.
Well, that's why sometimes I disagree with Republicans on, because Democrats play the race card and they play division politics well. So it is a left versus right thing, because for the right, we want everybody to prosper. Yes, we have moral standards and we believe traditions and moral standards should stand.
Yes.
Democrats and the left are evil. Let's just call it like it is.
Yes,
they believe in killing children.
Yes.
Okay? This is to the point to where they want to stick knives in children's head while they're in the birth canal. They believe in late-term abortion. That is evil. You can't, the same way you can say that if you supported slavery, it was evil, that was evil, the same way you say about abortion. The Democrat Party is evil, so it is a right
it is
versus left, because the ideologies are totally different.
Yes. I mean, to me, we are literally in the spiritual war. We're in the spiritual war. And I had a gentleman on, Jay McKinney, and we were talking, and I brought up to him, I said, you know what? The spiritual war is between good and evil. And he made a statement once before talking about, if you don't realize that we're in a spiritual war, you're already a casualty in this war. I mean, and that's where we are. And I made a statement saying that if you think about it, abortion, all of the way they're doing the homosexuality, just all this crazy stuff. If you think about it, everything that Satan is about, the Democratic Party supports it. Everything. Everything. There's not. I was like, name one thing that Satan is not about that the Democratic Party does not support. So we are literally in a war. And some people don't even realize it still. They're still trying to grasp the whole concept that we're literally in a war because they don't see bombs and bullets flying. They think that's the only time we're at war. They're sadly mistaken.
Well, when you listen to how liberals describe themselves and what they say, they let you know they are at war with us.
Yes.
They say Republicans have a war on women. They're there to defend women. Then they'll sit there and say they're social justice warriors. Then they will sit there and they will tell you that they are trying to end the white supremacy in America and all this craziness to let you know they don't look at us as regular Americans. They look at us as hateful, evil that must be destroyed. This is one of the things I love about Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh brings it out and says, you're not just going to beat liberalism, you must destroy it because it is out. Liberalism and conservatism cannot survive in the same area because liberalism will always try to dominate and destroy conservatives.
I've always said if you can remove liberalism from the planet, we will remove 90% of man's problems. Literally. Liberalism is a virus on the planet and it needs to be removed. We need to have a vaccine for this liberalism virus. So that kind of leads me into this other thing. I was listening to NPR this morning and I was like, okay, and I was just flipping through the channels because I had a little time and I ran across and it came on NPR and this story came on. And this is, and see, at first, because NPR is supposed to be, they're supposed to be neutral. They're supposed to be like, just report what's happening. They're supposed to just be, this is what's happening in America or across the world. No agenda. It's a complete lie. And I'm going to play for you guys. I'm going to play for you guys to prove. So earlier I talked about in the video that I did. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to talk about something tonight. And I'm gonna share something with you guys live on Facebook and YouTube that might possibly get me put in Facebook jail, because what they're doing here is completely insane, and it's not me doing it. I'm getting ready to play for you guys this audio clip of the liberal left on how they are manipulating people, and they're actually doing studies. Okay. Okay, so basically, this is about black women having miscarriages. Now, it's a bad thing, and they said it's like 2 to 1 for black women to have more miscarriages than white women, 2 to 1. And the reasoning for black women to have miscarriages more than white women is the catcher. I'm not going to say that part. I want you to hear it for yourself. And for me, when I'm sitting there listening to it, I'm like, my God. And you know what? I thank God that he opened my eyes up and he gave me the ability to recognize when this craziness is happening. And they're pushing this like they did a whole complete study on it. They did a whole complete study on it. Yeah, you would think it's high blood pressure.
It's about 3 minutes long. So
it's like a 3-minute clip. So my producer's gonna play this clip, and while we're playing it, people are gonna be able to see your reaction because I want to see your reaction too when you hear this. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a little bit.
Okay, ready?
High blood pressure, something like that.
Yeah, let's see.
African American women are more likely to lose a baby in the first year of life than women of any other race or ethnicity. Doctors and researchers have been trying to understand
getting any audio.
You're not hearing it? Okay, here, hold on. I'm pretty sure that was coming through. Did you get the audio when we were playing the video clip?
No, I saw it earlier. But I didn't want to say anything during the clip. So I won't come across when you're playing the clip. People can actually hear the clip. and not hear me. But yeah, I didn't get the audio.
Do multi output.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I do apologize. Let me see. You've got. Hold on. I know everyone that was listening could hear that, and you've got to be wanting to hear more of that. Everyone that was sitting there listening. So.
It is multi-mode.
Okay. Let me see. Jamal, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
I just got to hear, like I said, they probably did a regular study, simply saying it was high blood pressure, things of that nature. You got to be. Yeah, probably.
Let me know if you can hear this. No, you're not gonna be able to hear that at all. So you should be able to hear the other one. Here, let me see. Oh, great. Good times, good times. All right. All right. This should do it here.
African American women are more likely to lose a baby in the first year of life than women of any other race or ethnicity. Doctors and
So you still
researchers
can't
have
hear
been
that?
trying to
No, I still can't
Okay,
hear it.
let me get you to do this real quick. I know you have another device with you real quick, right? Where you can see this feed. Do you have like your
Yeah,
work phone or something? Can you just go
Yeah.
to the feed real quick? Because you've got to hear this.
Yeah, everybody else can hear it.
You got to hear this. Yeah, everybody else can hear it. So I'm not sure why it's not coming to you when it should be. You know what I can do? One thing I can do.
Let's see.
I can fix it real quick. Okay, here we go, Jamal.
But that's the whole thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna play it, and you'll be able to hear it. Okay.
Okay.
This ain't gonna work there. We'll have to go here. Okay, here we go.
African American women are more likely to lose a baby in the first year of life than women of any other race or ethnicity. Doctors and researchers have been trying to understand what makes black infants so vulnerable, and now they think it has to do with how their mothers are treated in this country.
It was 2009, and things were going really well for Samantha Pierce.
Man, I'm like having technical difficulties here. This is beautiful. All right, let me see. That should just come through. All right, I'm gonna try one more time. If nothing else, are you able to go to it on your other device?
I'm trying right now because
I
I'm
was
noticing
newly
something.
married. I had a son.
Facebook
I
did
was
something
a
slick.
higher
They
up in my
wouldn't.
company.
I just
Had a
noticed
lot
they
on my
didn't share it to my
plate.
page.
Hey, we're pregnant.
They didn't
Really?
share this.
Pregnant with
they shared it to
twins.
my personal.
Pierce
But
thought
they
she
didn't
was a
share it to
poster child for
my
healthy
like
pregnancy.
right now. If you
She
go
had
to
a
your
college
page
degree,
right
she
now,
was taking
Will.
prenatal vitamins, had great health
If you
care,
go to your
and
page
everything was
right
going
now, I'm
smoothly
looking at it
until
from my
one day.
phone.
I was about 5
You're
months
not.
pregnant with
Our
the
interview
twins
isn't coming up.
when I discovered that I was leaking
It
fluid.
should be
After
a
there
week in the
because
hospital,
right
her
now we
water
have
broke, and
we
she
have
gave
like
birth to her
800 people
twins.
watching us, and
They
they're
lived
dropping
for
off because I'm
about
not
5
playing this
minutes each
video
of
clip.
them, but they couldn't breathe. They didn't have lungs.
Black babies in the United States
It could be
die
my device.
at just over
I'm
two
thinking it
times the
could be
rate of
my
white babies
device
in the first year of life.
'Cause
So
I'm
there was
trying to
something about
scroll down
growing
right
up black
now
in the United
and,
States and
find
then
it,
bearing a
but
child
let
that
me
was
go
associated
under
with
the
lower
question
birth
that's
weight.
about.
He says there is something different about growing up black in America.
Okay, you know what?
Discrimination.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
hard to find
If
any
this,
aspect
my
of life
phone
that's
wanted me
not
to
impacted by
download
racial discrimination in this
the
country.
Facebook
David
app
and
to
other
do it because I'm
scientists
using
have
the
found
internet.
that African
let me go
American
ahead and
women
play
who
it. So,
say they face discrimination are
your
more
Skype
likely
device?
to have preterm deliveries and
Uh-huh.
therefore more likely to
mute
lose
your
their babies.
microphone there.
She was 7 or 8 the first time someone called her the
Just turn your
N-word.
microphone.
She was
Just
with her
touch
mother
it.
in
Just touch
Murray
the
Hill,
screen and
Cleveland's
hit the
Italian
microphone.
neighborhood.
We were just
All right,
driving
and I'm
through,
gonna go ahead and
and
play
we
this.
were called. It's just going up the hill.
Okay, let
The
me see, can
memory
I
still
find
makes
you?
her blood boil.
You know, it
Okay,
does
I
not
went
matter
too
that my
far
mother
back.
African
owned her
American
home.
women are
Okay.
more
It does
likely
not matter
to
that we
hit
own
lose
that
mute.
car,
a baby
'cause we
in the
did.
first year of
Michael,
It
life
does
Stop
not
talking.
matter that I
Just
went
let
to
it play.
private
We're gonna-
school,
I'm gonna
'cause I
play it.
did.
or ethnicity.
When I was
Doctors and
riding
researchers
up
have been
Murray Hill, I was a nigga,
All right, I'm gonna
and
go ahead
so
and
was
play
my
it
mother.
again for
Pierce
because he was
says
talking.
it wasn't
so
the only
everyone
time
that's
she was made
listening,
to
here
feel
we go.
inferior for being black. It happens
African
even today,
American women
like having
are
to
more
fight for a
likely to
promotion over a
lose
white
a
colleague,
baby in the first
or
year
when
of
she's
life
shadowed at
than
stores
women
by
of
the
any
staff,
other race or
even when
ethnicity.
she's with a white friend.
Doctors and
So when I
researchers have
say,
been trying
Dad,
to
did you see
understand
that clerk?
what
She
makes
was watching
black
our every
infants
move,
so
and my white
vulnerable.
friend will
And
be
now
like, "No,
they
she
think
wasn't."
it has to do with how
I'm
their
telling you
mothers
she
are
was.
treated.
And
in
now
this
she watching
country.
you because
It
you
was
with me.
2009.
Okay.
And those types
Things-
of things, they happen every day.
It's frustrating, she says, and stressful. Arthur James
I see-
says
I
when
see you're,
someone's stressed
catching
out
up
all the
there.
time, their bodies are flushed
I
with
see you're
stress
catching up
hormones.
there.
And for pregnant women,
They're
Higher
talking
levels
about
of stress
how they're being
hormones
treated.
increases
You know,
the
they're having
incidence of
miscarriages
preterm labor.
because of how they're
when
being
Samantha
treated.
Pierce first
So,
learned
let me go
about
ahead.
this,
I'm gonna go ahead
a
and
few
just
years
play
after
all
her
of
twins
it,
died,
so everybody
it was
can
as if a
hear
light
this,
bulb went
and then we'll
off.
come back
So
and talk
stress
about it.
leads to labor, and African American women
And what makes
live
black
a
infants
more
so
stressful
vulnerable.
life,
And,
and
now
so we
they think
hit
it has to do
preterm
with how
birth
their mothers
at
are
an
treated
alarming rate.
in this country.
It was 2009, and things were going really well for Samantha Pierce.
I was newly married. I had a son. I was a higher up in my company. I had a lot on my plate. Hey, we're pregnant.
Pregnant with twins. Pierce thought she was a poster child for healthy pregnancy. She had a college degree, she was taking prenatal vitamins, had great health care, and everything was going.
So what we had in there before was that they were talking about the women that were uneducated, black women that are uneducated. That's what they thought before. Because you were black, you were uneducated, that's why you were having a miscarriage. That's the way they were pushing this earlier. So let me go ahead, keep going.
Smoothly, until one day.
I was about 5 months pregnant with the twins when I discovered that I was leaking fluid.
After a week in the hospital, her water broke, and she gave birth to her twins.
They lived for about 5 minutes, each of them, but they couldn't breathe. They didn't have lungs.
Black babies in the United States die at just over 2 times the rate of white babies in the first year of life.
So there was something about growing up black in the United States and then bearing a child that was associated with lower birth weight.
So if you're black in America and you're having a child, that's the problem because you're black and you're in America. So it's really an issue because you're in America and you're black. So let me keep going.
Says there is something different about growing up black in America. Discrimination.
It's hard to find any aspect of life that's not impacted by racial discrimination in this country.
David and other scientists have found that African American women who say they face discrimination are more likely to have preterm deliveries and therefore more likely.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. You're more likely to have issues if you're discriminated against in America. Where are they getting this mess from?
To lose their babies. She was 7 or 8 the first time someone called her the N-word. She was with her mother in Murray Hill, Cleveland's Italian neighborhood.
We were just driving through, and we were called. It's just going up the hill.
The memory still makes her blood boil.
You know, it does not matter that my mother owned her home. It does not matter that we owned that car, because we did. It did not matter that I went to private school, because I did. When I was riding up Murray Hill, I was a nigga, and so was my mother.
Pierce says it wasn't the
bless
only
her
time she was
heart.
made to feel inferior for being black. It happens even today, like having to fight for a promotion over a white colleague, or when she's shadowed at stores by the staff, even when she's with a white friend.
So when I say, Dad, did you see that clerk? She was watching our every move. And my white friend will be like, no, she wasn't. I'm telling you she was. And now she watching you because you with me. And those types of things, they happen every day.
It's frustrating, she says, and stressful. Arthur James says when someone's stressed out all the time, their bodies are flushed with stress hormones. And for pregnant women,
higher levels of stress hormones increases the incidence of preterm labor.
when Samantha Pierce first learned about this, a few years after her twins died, it was as if a light bulb went off.
So stress leads to labor, and African American women live a more stressful life, and so we hit preterm birth at an alarming rate.
That's it.
Oh my God. When I was sitting there listening to that, I'm like, are they serious? Did they actually do a study and come up with black people, black women are having miscarriages because a white person discriminated against them because of the stress that she had when she was 8 years old? Because someone called her the N-word when she was 8 years old?
You know what, Will? That black woman, and I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't offend nobody. If I do, I just can't help it.
Do it.
She would probably call nigga all her life and her family. She probably grew up thought her name was nigga. Then somebody told her, your name ain't nigga, your name such and such. No,
Your name shall nay. Your name shall nay.
Like, really? And here's what people don't understand, and the liberal left don't understand. Margaret Sanger,
Yes.
wanted to eradicate black children. She called us weeds. Planned Parenthood founder. The whole organization was founded to destroy black children.
Yes.
So to hear someone from NPR, which they're nothing but loony left, because if you listen to them, you can hear them, to come out and say, somebody from NPR, well, a study we show, who did the study? Who did you talk to? One thing about when people say they do studies,
yes,
who did the study?
I'm sorry.
And who did you get the information?
And how much was the study? Go ahead.
This is funny. Somebody said they don't have white baby privilege.
They don't have white baby privilege. You know what? See, that's just crazy to me. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When they come up with this nonsense like this, and it's completely to try to divide us, and for her to go along with it, they probably paid her to come on there with that nonsense, talking about because I was discriminated against is the reason why I lost my child. As if white women don't have stress. Only black women in America have stress. So they're saying white women have this much stress because they're white, and black women have this much stress because they black. Only in America. Now, if you want to hear that whole thing in its entirety, go over to NPR. Just Google in black women having miscarriage because of discrimination. Just Google that, and you can listen to the whole thing. I heard that this morning. And I thank God because he gave me insight to see this crazy. They're pushing this stuff. And then there's people out there say, oh, yeah, see, they did study. This is why we're having the miscarriages because of white people. That leads right back to what I've been saying for over 2 years, that there's an attack on white people. This is it right here. This is another example of the attack on white people in America because they feel like they're not getting something. And then what it is white people doing most of the attacks against white people because they're coming up with this nonsense. See, I don't get it. And it's liberals. It's liberals. Let me make sure I'm correct. It's white liberals, because all of the white people that I meet going to these rallies and the marches, they have been wonderful people. And I don't even see them as white people. I see them as Americans. But it's these white liberals that are attacking them for going to that. It's always the white liberals calling white people Nazis, calling them fascists, calling them white supremacists, calling them everything hateful because they're white and they love this country. That don't make any sense. See, and they're pushing this stuff trying to convince people that this is what it is. This is the reason why. It's stupid.
Well, you want to dip into that insanity. And since you forced me to listen to that clip, Will, that idiotic woman, you forced me to listen. I thought you really won't go play it. I was just hoping you would just, just tell me.
No, I had to play it. I had to play it because, I mean, dude, go ahead.
Think about this in the 1960s. When Charles Manson and he did what he did, helter skelter, they wanted to cause a race war, and they thought that they would be swept up in and black people would accept them and all the things they would do, and it would be oh so great. That was the whole mind thinking of helter skelter. So if you look at that whole Woodstock and they're out there and love and peace, it was a bunch of people who looked at themselves as the problem instead of part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Because last I checked, it was whites that did die and fight in the Civil War.
Yes.
When Abraham Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, you didn't see whites go, that's it. You're afraid of them niggas. I ain't gonna keep fighting. I'm going home. I'm going home to get me some flapjacks and molasses. No. They continued to fight. When it came to the Civil Rights Act, it wasn't black congressmen and black senators that dominated the House and Senate and a black president that signed it in. No. So when you catch these white people, I call them white apologists, that come along and like, oh, you so black, you've been so hurt and offended, you can't do nothing. Oh, you just a poor innocent little creature, yes you is. If you don't get your crazy self away from me,
yep,
that's what they sound like, because it's all a ploy.
Yep.
To get power. Now, there are some that really are white apologists, and in their heart, they feel that white people just so bad. Because I had one of those type of teachers when I was younger, and my dad thought she was crazy. He told my mama, that woman crazy. You hear her? I mean, she was like, oh, Jamal is just so... My dad said, no, he ain't. He loud. That's what he is. He loud. Ain't nothing. The boy loud. That's what he is. And she was like, oh, Jamal is just so misunderstood. My dad looking at her like, this is my child that come home every day, and I'm here in this house with him. So there are some people that are legitimately have that feeling. But then you got some like 90% of liberals who see it as a way of getting power. Because as long as America is divided, all jokes aside, long as America is divided, they can gain their power. And once they gain their power, they can keep it and monopolize it. That's why they're trying to reach out to the Latinos. See, they got 90% of the black vote. That's why they down there, Black Girls Rock in Alabama. So what they're trying to do now is reach out to the Latinos and sweep them up. But the Latinos keep falling through their grasp. That's why the Latinos call themselves Texicans. Like if you call someone that's a Latino from Texas, you better not call him no Texas Mexican. You're gonna get cussed out. You better call him a Texican. And they let you know they are Texas. And they incorporate themselves in Texas. So they're trying to gain and snatch up all the Latinos, and the Latinos won't let them do it. And they're smart. They keep their vote divided because they recognize their value and their importance. That is why we are arguing whether or not someone came in here illegally should have the same rights as an American. But John, Ray, and Sinead, who got locked up in prison, 10 and 11 years ago can't get a job because they got background checks that says, okay, you got convicted of selling drugs way back in 1999, so you don't deserve a job, and that person can't get a job, but you'll get him Medicaid and welfare. So what you've done is you have gotten black folk and put them back on the plantation so you can use them whenever you needed a vote. But why you do that? Because black folk won't sit there and say, well, hold up. We want, after a certain amount of time, yes, people screw up. I ain't gonna say make mistakes. It's called they screwed up. They went to prison. They got their life back on track. So yeah, they do deserve a second chance. But black folk can't get that because we throw all our vote behind the Democrats, and the Democrats don't want it because when they got power, they don't push things like that. They push transgender bathrooms and gay marriage and all this other craziness, and they use the black vote to implement things that many of the black community don't want.
Yep,
but
you're
Latinos
absolutely right.
are smart.
Yeah.
Latinos are smart. They ain't gonna let you do that to them. Oh no, you ain't gonna push that crap on them.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Hey, dude, we're at the hour again.
Oh wow.
We've hit the hour already. This is phenomenal. You know what? We need to come on here one time to where we can just do a 2-hour show. I am serious. We need to find out what day so that we both can do that, where we can just sit down and do a 2-hour show. And I've talked to Jay McKinney. I want to bring him on with us.
Okay.
And you know Thaddeus?
No, I haven't seen him.
Okay, maybe bring Thaddeus too. So I want to try to, and the reason why, and these are all black gentlemen that love this country, and I want to do that because I want to. My thing is, I don't like the way the liberal left is doing and trying to divide us based on color. And I want to put us as black men on here to show that the liberal left is completely lying. You and I on here talking that we support our president. We show that the liberal left is lying. The media, they're completely lying. We show it every time we come on here and do it. And I want to show it as much as possible. And I'm not excluding anybody white at all. But I want to show the liberal left that they're lying, that black people only want to go with the Democratic Party, and it's a complete lie.
Well, here's the thing, Will, and I've had to explain this to those when I gather and we talk, because I hate to say followers, but those who like my page, and I have to explain the reason why we have to talk in race terms is because we're pushing back the racism from the liberals.
Yes.
If we just, what don't work is when Republicans try to act like that no one's using racism, but the Democrats are, and so they don't address it. So when Democrats hear that, it's everybody's black vote Democrat, and they push these ideologies and they push this on the TV shows, and every time you see on MSNBC and CNN, the corrupt news network, everyone black up there except for Paris, the guy Paris who's a Donald Trump supporter, or Omarosa, or they try not to put black conservatives up there.
Yep.
I was surprised they had Tim Scott up there and Ted Cruz to debate Bernie Sanders and the other woman. But they play that race politics. And in order to reach people of black folk, we got to show, yes, don't believe the lie. We are black conservatives. We are proud. We walk amongst you. And here's the problem, and it drives me crazy. I'm 42 years old.
Young man.
I remember, huh?
Young man.
I thought you were younger than me, Will.
Hey, I swim in the fountain of youth.
I seriously, I always thought you was about like 41 in your late 30s. But at one time in the black community, you should go in a barbershop. You will see the chessboard, and to play chess, you will have former Malcolm X followers. former Martin Luther King followers, and they were sitting there, they would debate each other about who way was the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody came in, sell a church plate, the Malcolm follower he'll buy, you know, the guy who was the Martin King follower, you know, and they would buy each other, they would sit there and talk. And it wasn't this hatred and animosity. We had two different voices in the black community.
Yeah.
But when did it come to the fact that there could only be one voice, and that one voice have to be Democrat, and all others are cool house niggas, stepping fetch, and all these
you're
other
absolutely
names,
right.
and dismissed.
You're
and
absolutely
now the black
right.
community is
You're absolutely right.
Boom.
You're absolutely right, because they say if you don't agree to the liberal left, that you're a race traitor, you're like you said, you're Uncle Tom, you're confused, you're deceived. They come up with some of the, I don't even want to say some of the most hateful, hideous things that they say to me. I don't even want to repeat it. I mean, because they will go on and on with their hatefulness. This is completely crazy and completely insane. So, hey, I want to thank you for coming on. We need, like I said, we need to find a time to where we can come on and we can just go for a straight 2 hours and just talk.
Well, let me know, Will, because like I said, what you had to educate me earlier when you text me, I thought I was 4 hours ahead in California. You was like,
okay.
no,
you're only three. Yep.
So if you needed me to come on at 9 o'clock, or you needed me to come on, like if you want to say, Jamal, I want you to come on this time, if I'm not out working in the field, or if I know ahead of time, then I can, okay, hey, we'll pack up at 6:30, get back to the warehouse, come home, hurry up, take a shower, or if I just walk in and say, hey, Will, excuse the appearance, I'm just getting off work late, and still talk.
That's
now I'm getting
to me,
accustomed to it.
I want you to,
no
I want you to be comfortable. No, I want you to be comfortable, because I guarantee everyone that's watching that respect what we're doing will respect you being, if you just got off work and you're coming on there because you're a working man. Trust me. And if someone has the issues looking at you because you're a working man, then maybe they shouldn't be watching, because, and I can only imagine it's only liberals that's going to feel that way. Look at him. He's not even clean. He didn't take a shower. It will only be liberals get an issue with you because you're black and you work and you support the president. That's the only people that have issues with it.
One of my most popular videos were the ones I did while I was working, and sometimes I would go into another house instead of the house I was working in, and I would do a live stream video, but people from Facebook, they said, quote unquote, they were offensive. And then my most popular videos, the one I did about you want a slave. I did that last year. You can see me, I'm in my tool belt, my suspended tool belt and everything. But the point is, that was one of my most popular videos, and a lot of people like it when I'm working like that. A lot of people like to see that. So, like I say, I try to be respectful, Will, because when you come on your live feed, Will, it's always professional. See, a lot of people don't know, behind the scenes, you're very professional. It's a lot of professionalism that goes along in it. You make sure that things are put together well, and when you come on your live stream, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward to just say, hey, Will, I respect you. Thank you for having me up here. So that's the importance I take when I come up. I
really appreciate it. I mean, even though we have technical difficulties, and I'm gonna have those, and I don't even sweat about them anymore, because I mean they're gonna happen. I'm not perfect, but I strive to be Christ-like. But my mistakes, they're gonna happen. So I don't even break a sweat on it. I'm like, okay, I'm having an issue. So it just happens. So, but hey, I thank you for coming on. I want to thank everybody I want to thank everyone that stuck with us through the issues. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank you especially for clicking that and hitting that share button. Because of you, we get to reach people. We get to show people that the liberal left is lying. And share it with your liberal friends, because they see two black males talking about they support the president, support the America. It will just eat their hides. But I want to thank you again for watching. Please share. If you don't share it, no one ever sees it, because Facebook has removed the ability to go to my public figure page and share the videos. I have to copy it, and then I have to go to my personal, and then I can share it. But again, we will be on tomorrow night, same time, same Will channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, go to votedemout.org. Votedemout.org. United America First.
Rich people in the scriptures. If you gonna run out and say when you judge someone of sin and you tell someone if they're in a sinful lifestyle they're wrong, you gotta be, oh no, you don't judge. Okay, then you don't judge another person by their wealth. If they have wealth and it was not by ill-gotten means, you don't have right to tell them that they need to do more, because you know what? It's the Lord will bring that judgment at his time. So you have rich people who do a lot of great things. They hire people. And you know what? If someone don't hire anybody, how dare someone tell someone
Exactly.
that you don't have a right to your money?
Yes.
That's just illogical.
Yes.
You mean to tell me, if I'm rich, I don't have a right to my money?
No, what it is,
I don't have a
right.
right
What
to
they want to tell
money?
you, what they want to tell you is that you got up every day, you worked hard, you created a business and you worked hard. You made something of yourself, you hired people, and you made great wealth, millions of dollars, but then they want to say that you're not entitled to it, even though you're the one that did everything to make it happen. You remember, they still have this whole thing in their mind when Obama was talking about that business, you didn't do that. You remember that new invention? That new invention, that building, that creation, you didn't do that. Seriously? Who did it then? Because he didn't do it. He's tried to say that it was someone before them. Well, even if it was someone before them, guess what? Somebody did it.
You see, Obama was trying to sprinkle little communist words, and I don't say this sparingly. He was sprinkling communism out there, because when he made that, you didn't build it. He was here in North Carolina in the 2012, his re-election campaign, and it was a person from who owned a bunch of hot dog stands around here in Raleigh, North Carolina, who spoke out against that. Because what Obama was saying, well, you didn't build the roads. Okay, hold on, but I did build my business. So what you're trying to tell me, I'm not entitled to the money that I earned. And here's the thing I notice about liberals. When John Boehner, right before he left to give Speaker Ryan, when Speaker Ryan got voted in, he gave a budget. And in that budget, Hollywood liberals got some of the best tax breaks you could get. It was like on the first $10 million on a movie, it was write off or something of that nature. So what liberals do is they want everyone to pay all these high taxes, but they write themselves tax laws, because the liberal media like to say loopholes. It's not loopholes. It's tax laws.
Yeah.
So they got them specific little tight laws where they can use to give themselves less money. And these laws specifically target whom the liberals feel deserve to be rich, like Harvey Weinstein.
Yes. You're exactly right. And they keep pushing that same thing over and over and over, and they expect us not to even understand what they're doing. I still don't understand how liberals think that spreading the wealth is a good thing. Now, if a person decides they want to donate money, or if a person decides they start a business and they want to hire people and pay them well, to me, that's spreading the wealth. When a person get up every day and they go to work and they work for what they make, that's spreading the wealth. But just giving it to someone who's sitting on the couch in mama's basement for doing nothing, that's not spreading the wealth. That's giving it to lazy people for doing nothing. if a man don't work, you don't eat.
Well, liberals, one thing about liberals, they believe that everybody has a choice to be liberal. And if you're not liberal, you don't have a choice. That's just not true. Liberals believe everyone has a choice to be liberal, but if you're not a liberal, you don't get a choice. So they want more and more people to be on welfare, because what you're doing is you're appealing to the deepest, darkest nature of man.
Mm-hmm.
One, to be lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Get food, be able to get food, do what you want, and not be held to accountability for your actions. So if you sit there and you show up to work 30 minutes late every day, they want to extend you unemployment for 2-3 years, so that
are to remove our president from office. They made up every kind of lie. They try to bring out women from years ago. They're trying to do everything they can. And they were trying to impeach him. They were trying to remove the president from office before Christmas. Christmas is this weekend. And they haven't done it. So my only fear is that these Democrats are going to do what they've been doing and completely be violent and come out and be violent against our president. Right now, I truly believe there's a coup going on within these government agencies to try to undermine our president, because they don't like the fact that he's doing everything that he said he would do for the American people. This is the positive thing. This is a positive thing. Now, the reason why I say it's a positive thing, because it is going to benefit the filthy rich. But I don't know anyone who's extremely poor hiring somebody, giving them a job to do something. You know, I mean, it's really, I know it sounds elementary, but it is that basic. You don't have poor people hiring people to do a job, but you do have rich people hiring people, paying them to make them more money. I mean, because if I do something and I become a millionaire, I don't want the liberals or the government taking all my money. Let me spend it and hire more people. But they're saying that the rich people aren't going to do that. And a lot of these rich Democrats, we get to put them on the spot. Go ahead.
Well, here's my thing. I'm HVAC. I work for a multimillionaire. I want him to get tax breaks. Why? Because when he gets tax breaks, I get a raise. I want multimillionaires and people who are, you guess, quote unquote, thousandaires, so they can go out and buy homes. Why? Because if they go out and buy homes, I get to run the ductwork and install the unit into their homes, which put more money into my house.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, I don't work for nobody broke. I work for somebody rich. 99.9% of the people out here work for someone who is rich.
Yes.
And this whole war on the rich is nothing but plain out old covetousness. You're coveting somebody else, which is nothing but jealousy. You're looking at what somebody else have, and you're determining that they don't have it because you don't have it. That's covetousness. The churches ought to sit there and start speaking out against it, because it's
on Facebook. For some reason, I've been told that people are getting put in Facebook jail just because they share my post. I'm not understanding why, because I'm not doing anything mean. But anyways, if you want to avoid all of that and you are on Twitter, please go to Twitter and follow us on Twitter. And please retweet as much as you can. And also, we are streaming live on YouTube right now as we speak. We're on YouTube and Facebook, live and direct. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the mind of Jamal. What's up?
Hey, Will, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you again for coming on with me. This is awesome. We got, I'm like inside. This is right before Christmas. Donald J. Trump's keeping his word. And you know what? We have so much to be thankful for.
Yes.
Well, yes.
He gave everyone the old 1-2 punch. What the Republicans did today, the Democrats are actually, if we were boxing and someone was in a match, what the Republicans did was a 2 jab, then uppercut. They did the tax reform. They repealed the individual mandate.
Yes.
Then they allowed drilling off of Anwar provinces in Alaska, which will give us more energy independence,
Yes.
which people have been trying for over 30 years. I think Claire McCaskill said 38 years to get that done so they could drill. Well, guess what? Now we can drill, which puts more of us being energy independent, so we won't have to depend on the countries like Saudi Arabia,
Exactly.
Qatar, those nations who a lot of times don't share in our best interest. They'll sit there and they'll promote a lot of these radical Islamic terrorists, because a lot of people don't know that Saudi Arabia was backing some of those extremists in Syria. So actually ISIS has some ties back to the Saudi royal family.
Yeah, I believe it. But you know what? This is remarkable. The Democrats have been trying to do everything they can to get rid of Hello and welcome. My name is Will Johnson, Unite America First. We have a special guest with us tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Donald J. Trump. Winning, winning, winning. I love it, love it, love it. We are streaming live right now on Facebook. So please go to our Facebook and like and share. Please like and share. Fair warning, if you share on